Okay, excretory products and their elimination, part 4. Let's continue. Which of these will be completely reabsorbed from glomerular filtrate under normal condition in the nephron? Said asking about these substances, whatever entered in the Bowman's capsule, we call it as glomerular filtrate. These glomerular filtrate, whatever the substances entered in the glomerular filtrate or primary urine, we can classify these substances into three. High threshold substance, the substances which we require in large quantities, low threshold substance, and a threshold substance. So, high threshold. So, we can say glucose is high threshold. That the question is asked over, which will be completely reabsorbed. Completely reabsorbed. That means asking about high threshold substances. So, what are low threshold substances? The substances we require in less quantities, little amount, we can say low threshold. A threshold. So, bile salts, oxalate, hippuric acid, that these kind of substances which we don't want at all, we can say A threshold. So, our answer is high threshold, that is glucose. What are mainly reabsorbed from Henle's loop? Potassium, glucose, water, and NaCl. In the Henle's loop, in the descending limb of Henle's loop, the water is going to be absorbed, water, and in the ascending limb of Henle's loop, salts are going to be absorbed. So, in that way, what is our answer? Water and sodium chloride. The part of the nephron that helps in active reabsorption of sodium is the part of nephron that helps in active reabsorption of sodium is active reabsorption of sodium. Bowman's capsule, distal convoluted tubule, ascending limb of Henle's loop, proximal convoluted tubule. So, it is given that distal convoluted tubule, in the text it is mentioned, which of the following substance is actively secreted into the glomerular filtrate of the kidney tubule? Which of the following substance is actively secreted into the glomerular filtrate of the kidney tubule? So, talking about augmentation process, tubular secretion into the lumen, okay, actively secreted into the lumen. So, what are the amino acid, chloride ion, sodium, and potassium? So, our answer is potassium ions. Effect of antidiuretic hormone on the kidney is to increase. Antidiuretic hormone effect can be expected in the we don't find antidiuretic hormone effect in PCT and not on Henle's loop. We'll find effect of antidiuretic hormone on DCT as well as in collecting tubule. Is to increase what? Permeability of distal nephron to the water. Absorption. We call such kind of water absorption as conditional water reabsorption. Whatever in PCT, 70 to 80% of the water and electrolytes we said, such water absorption called obligatory water reabsorption. But influence of ADH on DCT and collecting tubule, we say conditional water reabsorption. So, in that way, permeability of distal nephron to the water. In deficiency of ADH, rate of mixturation, ADH if it is absent, if ADH absent, what can be expected in the absence of ADH? The so-called absorption, whatever happening in the DCT as well as in collecting tubule won't happen here and here. Imagine some 10% and 9% in DCT and collecting tubule, 1% we are eliminating in the form of urine. So, for that absence of DCT and absence of ADH, add more urine for the elimination. Instead of 1%, that equal to 1.5 liter, 1.5 liter, here 20%. That means here 20 times more urine, we are going to be nearly 30 liters, isn't it? So, that we say it as diuresis. So what is the answer for us in deficiency of the rate of mixturation? That ADH, the rate of mixturation is going to be increased. Volume of urine is regulated by, volume of urine is regulated by aldosterone and ADH. Aldosterone only, aldosterone, ADH and testosterone, ADH alone. So discussed about now only. Aldosterone, ADH influence absorption of water and salts. When a person is suffering from poor renal reabsorption, which one of the following will not help in the maintenance of blood volume? When a person suffering from poor renal reabsorption, which one of the following will not help in the maintenance of blood volume? So what's the problem of the person? He is not able to absorb faster. That means what we suggest here, when filtration fluid is going like this person need to absorb, isn't it? So if it is going much faster, if it go much faster, he can't absorb. So he is a slow learner, he is a slow thinker. That means he is a slow absorption is happening. So we should say for our blood vessel, send the filtered materials also very slow, isn't it? So absorption not happening faster, poor renal absorption, they said. So okay, so increased ADH secretion, okay, it might helpful. Which one of the following will not helpful? Is not a poor renal absorption. Our ADH increased helpful for definitely enhancement of absorption in DCT and collecting tubule. Decreased glomerular filtration might be helpful. Glomerular filtration is decreased means fluids flow slowly here. Increased arterial pressure. When you increase the pressure at artery, so more filtration, more faster the fluids will move, isn't it? So I don't think so. It will be helpful. Decreased arterial pressure. When arterial pressure is decreased, your filtration rate will be slower, so that's why that might be helpful. So what is our answer here? Increased arterial pressure. If the arterial pressure is more, might be substances travel much faster. If much faster, he is not able to absorb. Poor renal absorption, isn't it? We said. So that's why this is the answer. Increased arterial pressure in kidneys. Number of nephrons in a kidney is equal to the number of nephrons in a kidney equal to the number of Bowman's capsules, sum of Bowman's capsule and glomeruli, double the number of Bowman's capsule, sum of Bowman's capsules and Malpighian corpuscle. So each kidney have definitely a Bowman's capsule. So number of nephrons equal to the number of Bowman's capsule, number of nephrons equal to the PCT, number of nephron equal to the Henle's loop. Likewise, if Henle's loop were absent from mammalian nephron, which of the following is to be expected? If Henle's loop were absent from mammalian nephron, which of the following is to be expected? The urine will be more dilute, there will be no urine formation, the urine will have more concentration, there will be hardly any change in the quality and quantity of urine form. If Henle's loop were absent for mammalian nephron. So what we said that Henle's loop for what? Henle's loop. So our Henle's loop helpful for counterflow mechanism. Enhancement of the water absorption is the asset of presence of Henle's loop. Counterflow mechanism with Henle's loop and vasa recta helpful for the more absorption. So what is our answer then? Urine become more dilute. If Henle's loop absent, you can't absorb water. Which one of the following groups of structures, organs have similar function? Tiflosol in earthworm. So asking about tiflosol in earthworm. Intestinal villi in rat, contractile vacuole in amoeba. Tiflosol for absorption of the food in earthworm. So leave it. We have to talk about absorption. Intestinal villi is also for the absorption of the food. Rat nothing but human-like, and contractile vacuole for osmoregulation. So, in that way, the first option is wrong. In that way, the first option is wrong. Nephridia in earthworm, Malpighian tubules in cockroach, urinary tubules in rat. Okay, seems to be right. Let's go with the other. Antenna of cockroach, sensory, tympanum for hearing, clitellum for the reproduction. That means for the deposition of the eggs, fertilization process occurs. So, in that way, we can say this one is wrong. Incisors of the rat, gizzard and of the cockroach, and tube feet of starfish. Incisors for cutting, gizzard for grinding, and tube feet, they have their own attachment likewise. So that's it. So what is our answer? Nephridia in earthworm, Malpighian tubules in cockroach, urinary tubules in rat. Ducts of Bellini are present in ducts of Bellini. Who are ducts of Bellini? The nephrons, the distal convoluted tubule opens into the collecting duct, and all the collecting ducts opens into ducts of Bellini. So it belongs to kidney then. Ducts of Bellini, it belongs to kidney. Human kidney produces how much concentrated urine than the initial filtrate form? 2 times, 4 times, 6 times, 3 times, 4 times. What is the ratio of concentration of outer medulla to outer portion of inner medulla? Ratio of concentration of outer medulla to outer portion of inner medulla is given 2/3, 2/3 portion. The functioning of kidney is regulated by hypothalamus, JGA, heart, and all of these. So functioning of kidney is regulated by all of these. Hypothalamus secrete ADH, they secrete ADH. We know the juxtaglomerular cell secrete renin, and heart secrete ANF, atrial natriuretic factor. ADH causes increased water absorption from DCT and CT, increased GFR by increasing blood pressure, increases reabsorption of electrolyte from distal tubule, all of these. Arrange the following steps in order. Excess loss of fluid, stimulation of osmoreceptor, means when we lost the fluid, here it is, first one. So our osmoreceptor will get stimulated, that stimulate the hypothalamus for the secretion of ADH or vasopressin. That ADH will come and facilitate the water reabsorption from distal tubule. So let's draw the numbers here. This is 1 and this is 2, 3, 4 and 5. So then increase in the body fluid, switch off osmoreceptor. When it increases, ADH water is sufficient. So what we do, that increase in the that ADH, we can say this is going to be the 6th. So what is our answer then? This is our answer. Stimulus for activation of JG cells to release renin is renin. Renin means here that by mistake we got one N. So let us remove this N. Renin. Now digestion absorption chapter no more in NEET. At the time this is going to be a bigger question. Renin is an enzyme in the children for the curdling of milk. Renin released from juxtaglomerular cells, helpful for the RAS mechanism. So this renin is different from this renin. So we don't want double N. We require our N. Stimulus for activation of JG cells to release this renin, not this renin. This renin is going to be in digestive enzyme. Decrease in glomerular blood flow, decrease in glomerular blood pressure, decrease in glomerular filtration rate. So JG cells secrete renin in the RAS mechanism. So whenever glomerular filtration rate in the nephron falls down, whenever glomerular blood flow falls down, whenever the blood pressure falls down, we require this one. So what is our answer? All of these. RAS involve juxtaglomerular apparatus, angiotensinogen, adrenal cortex, and all of these. RAS involve juxtaglomerular apparatus. Now only we said it secrete renin, angiotensinogen from liver, adrenal cortex. Adrenal cortex, zona glomerulosa of the adrenal cortex is going to release a hormone called aldosterone. So what is our answer? All of these. Select the incorrect from the following. Select the incorrect from the following. Glomerular filtration rate increased. Okay. When it decreased, glomerular filtration rate decreased, the G cells are activated, they produce renin. Renin convert the angiotensinogen into angiotensin 1. Angiotensin 1 converted into angiotensin 2 in the presence of angiotensin converting enzyme. Angiotensin converting enzyme. So ACE we have to put here. So this is going to be wrong. That is the answer. Angiotensin 2 powerful vasoconstrictor that stimulate adrenal cortex of zona glomerulosa, aldosterone secretion, and increases the reabsorption of the sodium and water from distal part of the nephron. So what is our answer then? Fourth option. Increase in blood pressure caused by blood pressure is increase. Blood pressure increased means blood is diluted. Blood is diluted means you are taken large amount of water. So when increase in blood pressure, we require increases ADH secretion, increases aldosterone secretion, increases angiotensin 2. Okay, here it is asked increase in blood pressure is caused by. That means problem here decrease in blood pressure means when you don't take water, when you don't drink water, our blood pressure decrease, water levels are dropped. Then that results RAS mechanism. RAS mechanism participants here it is angiotensin 2 is there, angiotensin 2 and aldosterone is there. Right. Here. So that's it. This is correct. ADH secretion can increase the blood pressure. Aldosterone secretion can increase. Angiotensinogen 2 can increase. So what is our answer? All of these. Which of the following is true about ANF? Full form is autonomous nerve factor. No, autonomous nerve factor is not. What is the full form here? Full form atrial natriuretic factor. Full form is atrial natriuretic factor. Antagonistic to renin angiotensin mechanism. Yes, antagonistic to renin angiotensin mechanism. It causes vasodilation. It causes vasodilation to decrease the blood pressure. So, what is our answer? Antagonistic to renin angiotensin mechanism. So, find the correct step for mixturation. Arrange in order. Urine filled in urinary bladder, stretch receptor activation, wall of bladder send signal to the CNS, motor messages from CNS to urinary bladder and urethral sphincter, bladder contract and sphincter dilates leads to mixturation, urine filled in urinary bladder. Where should we start? Actually, that options are given from A, B, C, D, E. CBA. C means wall of bladder send signal. Without filling, how it can be? So that's why we should start from urine filled in urinary bladder, isn't it? Here we should start from. When urine filled in urinary bladder, stretch receptor getting activated. Okay. Wall of bladder send signal to the CNS. Okay. Motor message from CNS to the urinary bladder and urethral sphincter. Bladder contract and sphincter dilate, led to the micturition. So that's it. First option. Neural mechanism of micturition is called micturition reflex, simple reflex, conditioned reflex, all of these. Micturition reflex. An adult human excrete how much urine per day? 1 to 1.5 liter, 1.5 to 2 liter, 5 to 10 liter. Here it is 10, 10, 3 liter. So answer is 1 to 1.5 liter. On an average, urea is excreted out per day. On an average, urea excreted 20 to 25 gram, 25 to 30 gram, 25 to 30 milligram, 40 to 45 gram. So what is our answer? 25 to 30 grams. Analysis of urine helps in the clinical diagnosis of metabolic disorder, malfunctioning of kidney, diabetes mellitus, all of these. Metabolic disorder, malfunctioning of kidney, diabetes mellitus, all of these. All of these. Select the correct matching. Color, pH, odor. Light yellow 7.0 that characteristic odor. Light yellow 6.0 characteristic odor. Light yellow 6.5 pungent. Light yellow 6.0 almond. So what is our answer? Light yellow 6.0 pH characteristic odor. Presence of glucose and ketone bodies in urine is called glycosuria and ketonuria, glycogenic and ketonuria, glycosuria and ketonemia, gluconeogenesis and ketonemia. So glycosuria and ketonuria. So the next, glycosuria and ketonuria is an indicative of starvation, diabetes mellitus, diabetes insipidus, all of these. It's an indication of diabetes mellitus. Glycosuria and ketonuria are indicative of diabetes mellitus. Okay, here we have a mistake. Diabetes mellitus. Direct answer we say glycosuria and ketonuria, diabetes mellitus. At least diabetes insipidus cannot be the answer because it will come by ADH deficiency. So, hunger strike, starvation might not immediate, but longer hunger strike might develop this ketonuria, ketone bodies and this. So, that's why here direct answer we have diabetes mellitus. Sweat contain watery fluid with sodium chloride, urea, lactic acid, all of these. All of these. Primary function of sweat is removal of excess of water, removal of urea, cooling of body surface, all of these. Removal of excess of water, removal of urea, cooling of body surface, all of these. Primary function of sweat, because homeothermic body temperature, isn't it or not? So ours is homeothermic body temperature. To cool our body temperature, we need to maintain our body temperature constant. So for that, sweat is also going to be one of the source. Okay. Nitrogenous waste is eliminated through kidney, saliva, sweat gland, all of these. Nitrogenous waste is eliminated through little amount in saliva and saliva, sweat gland, more you say in kidney. Sterols and hydrocarbons and waxes are eliminated through sterols and hydrocarbons and waxes are eliminated through liver, lung, sebaceous gland and sweat gland. Sebaceous glands. Select the incorrect statement from the following. Liver is the second largest gland in our body. Sebum provide protective oily covering for skin. Sebum provides protective oily covering for skin. Bile contains substances like bilirubin, biliverdin, cholesterol, degraded steroid hormone, vitamin, okay, drugs, okay, passed with digestive wastage, yes, correct. Other than kidneys, lungs, liver and skin also helps in the elimination of excretory wastage. Okay, so incorrect they are asking. So incorrect, so that means this is incorrect. Liver is the largest gland in our body, first largest, which is not a part of renal tubule. PCT, DCT, Bowman's capsule, that all going to be the part of Bowman's capsule, PCT, Henley's loop, and distal convoluted tubule. Up to here, they said it as a renal tubule, so that's why collecting duct. Select the total number of excretory organ from the following found in various animal. So, protonephridia. Let's take another color here. Protonephridia. Yes, protonephridia are the excretory organs of phylum Platyhelminthes and some in cephalocardate. SCA node from the heart. Nephridia, earthworm. Hepatic CK, digestive enzymes secrete. Atrium, part of the heart chamber. Malphigian tubule, we can say. Malphigian tubule. We can take it out. Malphigian tubule. Okay. Then green glands, yes, green glands also. Kidney, okay. Kidney also. Pons, we can remove. Pons from brain, okay. Then omatidia. That one more here, omatidia. Let's cut it down. Omatidia. Parapodia are the lateral appendages, we can say. They are not belongs to this category. Parapodia are not belongs to this category. Here it is. This is also wrong. So, answer protonephridia, Malphigian tubule, green glands, kidney. What is our answer? 5. Excretory organs help in excretion only, maintenance of acid balance, maintenance of ionic balance, all of these. All of this is our answer. Our lung remove how much of carbon dioxide per hour from the body? 10 liter, 20 liter, 18 liter, 2 liter. So our lung remove that 18 liter of carbon dioxide. Inflammation of glomeruli of kidney is renal failure, renal caliculi, glomerulonephritis, and so let's take it out. Glomerulonephritis means inflammation of glomerulus, we can say. Renal caliculi is stones in the kidney. Cystitis, we can say, fibric cystitis or cyst formation. So what is our answer? Inflammation of glomeruli in the kidney is glomerulonephritis. Stone and insoluble mass of crystallized salts formed within the kidney is generally made up of calcium carbonate, calcium oxalate, and silica. Any of these. Calcium oxalate mostly will found in tomato, spinach, likewise. Overeating make that kind of stone formation, which is the ultimate method for the correction of acute renal failure. Hemodialysis, renal transplantation, blood transfusion, angioplasty, which is the ultimate method for the correction of acute renal failure. Definitely renal transplantation. So following are the steps of dialysis. Blood is passed into a vein, mixed with heparin, mixed with anti-heparin. Blood is drained from convenient artery. I think we should start from here. Blood is drained with convenient artery. Wait a minute. Let me take. Here it is. Okay, this is the first one, convenient artery, and mixed with heparin, second one. Then after blood is passed through a coiled porous cellophane Give bathing and dialyzing fluid. Yes, we can take it as third one. Removal of nitrogenous wastes from the blood. Yes, we can take it as fourth one. And then after add antiheparin, then give it back to the vein. So what is our answer? We started from the D. After D, B. D, B. So where it is? D, B. Second option. Malfunctioning of kidney may lead to the accumulation of. Malfunctioning of the kidney may lead to the accumulation of more urea in our blood. Uremia, we can say the feature. Which of the following is true about renal transplantation? Kidney transplantation is the ultimate method at the stage where drug or dialysis do not help. Immunosuppressive agents are used to kidney transplant patient. Yeah, that true. Close relatives are often used as a kidney donors to minimize the risk of rejection. Yes, yes, all of the above. So, map the excretory functions of the section 1 with the parts of excretory system in section 2. Choose the correct combination from the among the answers given. Ultrafiltration, ultrafiltration. Let's start from here. Ultrafiltration as done in Malpighian corpuscle, isn't it? Concentration of the urine. Concentration of the urine, counterflow mechanism, Henle's loop. Okay. Transport of urine. Transport, ureter we can take. Storage of urine. Yes, I can give to the urinary bladder. So, I think our proximal convoluted tubule left over 70 to 80% of salts will be absorbed there only. Okay, so what is our answer then? 1D. 1D. 2A. So, this is the answer. So, go through the following feature. We'll do diagrams separately. We have a complete that chapter-wise diagrammatic workshop that we'll do in future. Okay. Then renal column, renal capsule, calyx, renal pelvis. So, we should start from here. A. What is A? Renal column or renal capsule, calyx or renal vein. Okay, so then this is going to be artery and vein, isn't it? Or this is given renal artery, so that definitely is going to be renal vein, and this is ureter, it is given. So D is renal vein. Do you see the D is renal vein? Here it is. Isn't it? C is renal capsule. Okay. D is renal vein. Here it is given, isn't it? Okay. So C, here it is C. Renal column, renal capsule. Then A is the calyx. These are the calyx. All the calyxes opens into pelvis. Okay, then which one of the following statement is correct with respect to kidney function and regulation? Exposure to cold temperature stimulate ADH release. An increase in glomerular blood flow stimulate formation of angiotensin II. During summer, when the body loses lot of water by evaporation, the release of ADH is suppressed. Need correct statement, isn't it? When someone drinks lot of water, ADH release is suppressed. When someone drink lot of water, ADH is suppressed is good to see. Then during summer, when the body loses lot of water by evaporation, release of ADH is not suppressed. Okay. Then an increase in glomerular blood flow stimulate the formation of angiotensin II. So how can we correct this? Let us correct this. Decrease. Exposure to cold temperature stimulate ADH release. Exposure to cold temperature. In what context they said? exposure to hot climate. That means we lose more water in the form of sweating, isn't it? That require ADH release. So then this is a series of practice of the questions here. We continue with the practice of questions. We continue. The series will go on. Excretory products and their elimination. Remember, by the time when we are moving forward, by the time that this is going to be much tougher by I mean more complicated questions can be expected here, more complicated questions. So that's why, so go through the order, practice excretory products and their elimination questions here, practice all the questions in a proper way. So, and wait for our more parts to come here. So, request already excretory products and their elimination part 1 and part 2, part 3, part 4. This is the part 4 and it will go on. Series of the questions for every chapter, it will go on like this. So, practice of questions in the NEET biology is very important to target the 360 in biology will come only by practice, only by practice. So preparation, reading text only helpful to get 50%. After reading text, that practice of the questions is going to be the vital role here. You need to practice from the different books. So just follow here. We'll get from all the conceptual understanding, application, memory, every type of questions we are going to practice here. So that continue, go through 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 likewise. Thank you.